Hello, welcome to you next officer, and this is Sushil. So let's start with another question which is of 10 markers. So we need to learn today how to write in concise a question of ethics. And the question reads out, explain various functions performed by attitude. In previous video we looked at how attitude could be defined and how various components of attitude would work. So attitude, so the as it is 10 marker, should we be thinking first? You need to make up your mind what has to be written, whether you need to again define various components, etc. No, you can start. What is utility of attitude? Mention that. Of course, in introduction, you can't jump into actual answer body. So you need an introduction. You can explain utility. So utility of attitude could be expressed. So what is utility of attitude? Why do you need attitude? So attitude has a function, or attitude helps you facilitate faster decision making. So faster decision making needs some kind of attitude to be formed, so that faster decision making is just because you made up your mind, or you were preemptive. You are preemptive towards a particular situation. So that faster decision making needs something in your mind which is allowing you to act impulsively. So you need attitude for faster decision making. Then you can now get into a part of question which is asking about various functions performed by attitude. As we were speaking about utility is one of those functions. You can call it number one. And other than that, so if you look at what is utility, attitude helps you develop maybe qualities like endurance. You endure in tough times, you stand despite the conditions that are against you. So that way, you know, at least you believe that if you stand in these tough times, you will get the results that are desirable. So you will develop endurance. That is one function. Other than that, you have ego defense function. When I say ego defense function, you know, somewhere in your mind, or you are at least speculative that uh, this might not justify, but still you defend your ego. For example, I own a mobile of Realme and you own a mobile of Oppo. Both of them having their parent company similar, uh, I may argue that my phone is offering similar specs at lower price, so the mobile is somewhere else, better value for money. So this argument to defend your ego after making the decision is also due to attitude. I think this is, if you just pause for a while, think whether you are defending your ego and whether it is related to your attitude or not. You'll understand that it's also a function. Other than this, another function can be adjustment. Adjustment. So when the conditions are not in accordance to you or efforts, when the wind is not blowing in the desirable direction, you would change your post. You will change your position along the wind or adjust accordingly to get some desirable progression in your life. So this adjustment function also comes over experience, and it is also due to uh, attitude that you develop. And then you will also have another function like value expression. Value expression. You know what values are, right? Those are your beliefs which may make you biased, or which may make you express better respect, or values can be any of those that you get. So, for example, you are living in a conservative society and you are wearing stripped jeans. So, when you are wearing stripped jeans, the other person might feel this is not our culture and express that our values are compromised. So that in you, sorry, it's again subjective whether it is intolerance or wrong on the side of person who is wearing stripped jeans, maybe girl or boy, but the expression of dissent that values are compromising are again dependent on the attitude that you develop. So values play a larger role, and that expression of values are again due to attitude that you develop. Okay, I think I gave enough inputs. End of the day, one more function that you have is knowledge function. It's also due to the attitude that you develop. Straight away now, let's get into the answer and see uh, how we could present it, and along the path I'll mention even about the knowledge function. So if you look at that, how you started, we spoke about the utility of attitude, that attitude serves great functionality by facilitating faster decision making. And we straight away, as it is 10 marker, we didn't waste time or space. We got into the answer straight away. First, we spoke about adjustment function. And again, whenever you give this, even if it's a 10 mark, it will be great if you give some examples, abstract ones or in detail, depending upon uh, the amount of space you're consuming. The adjustment function directs people towards pleasurable objects. It's human nature to seek pleasure, and we would usually tend towards pleasurable objects, or we refrain from unpleasant and undesirable objects or services, goods, whatever it is. It forms a base for utilitarian function. So this is one adjustment function. People choose profession, purpose based on the passion. Might not be everyone, considering their position and their situation. At least few choose passion. So that is due to this adjustment function. Sorry, that is due to utilitarian function. I reversed it. I apologize. You can see adjustment function here. Endurance one develops and shapes his attitude as a result of various experiences when applied to achieving goals, ambitions, or any other career progression. So you adjust based on your experiences, you understood that you have some roadblock and you need to change your path to do something in your life. And here I expressed an example. There was an athlete called Ashwini, who used to compete with PT Usha. If maybe your father's generation would understand who Ashwini is, and she carved herself a niche to turn into herself as an actress. She was playing some lead roles as female protagonists in many movies. And most of the places where women roles or female protagonist roles demanded that athletic expression or that fitness, Ashwini was first choice in many of those movies for a decade. So herself turning out to be an actress from athlete was that attitude development which she had. Then we spoke about the ego defense function. Probably this is something we need to focus more on. Attitude formed to protect self-image from threats help fulfilling ego defense function. I think this is self-explanatory. You often tend to protect your self-image, and that is responsible for it. A consumer who bought a device which is not value for money may boast its features. As I mentioned about how two friends owning Oppo and Realme phones might argue about the value for money specs or other specifications that they offer for that particular money or charge higher for the same specifications. So ego defense function may sometimes form base for value expression function. Okay, with this conclusion, we move faster to about the what value expression function looks like. Unlike ego defense, you can compare it with ego defense, and you need to explicitly mention how we are classifying this different from ego defense function. Unlike ego defense function, value express function forms centrally held values. Remind you again what I was quoting you as example. These people develop few beliefs which form as commonly held and centrally held values, which enables the expression inherently. They don't push themselves, it automatically inherently comes. I think this might be clear if you go through the example. A conservative person may display unfavorable attitude towards striped jeans or may call black apparel bad luck on auspicious events and functions that you celebrate at your household. Few people may call black as bad luck. Even that is just because of the lack of value neutrality that they hold. Because of the value neutrality, they end up judging you on the values that you hold. So I think this is slightly more clear with example rather than the description that I gave about value expression. If you move to knowledge function, which is next one, you can say humans have a need for structural and orderly world. Again, you came to this video because you want something organized about ethics. Otherwise, everything is available scattered on the internet. You want something organized that you can remember in a better form, you can present in better form, you can develop an understanding. Because there are a lot of complexities out there. Out of these complexities, you want structural and orderly world. And that is natural tendency because that gives you comfort. So the knowledge function involves categorizing and classifying to reduce situations from complex to simple. I think you can understand what even we are doing. We developed an attitude to classify. Okay. Now, if you look at an example, about what you can mention for knowledge function. You can say we may develop a penchant for reading a particular genre. You don't randomly navigate about random genres, because it's not like one day you like comedy more, next day you go for horror or science fiction the third day. Usually that might happen when you are immature, but over the period you develop penchant for a particular genre. If you're liking science fiction, you end up watching multiple videos of movies on science fiction, and that is due to the knowledge function, because you developed an attitude of admiring and appreciating science fiction, and you choose them to satisfy. So this might give you clarity about what knowledge function has to do. I think this is clear here about how we are mentioning this kind of presentation, or not wasting time, will help you uh, in presenting or adjusting according to the condition. So your aim has to score somewhere around 6 out of 10, at least, if possible, anything more than that. First, ensure this, and ensure you have better timing to attempt other questions as well, because you can't consume the time of next question. I think I've done justice to whatever I could do within the 17 minutes that I consume. Before I meet you next time, bye bye.